Hi, in the previous video, I gave you this question. Can you calculate a joint probability using two marginal probability distributions? The answer is no. There are many different ways to think about this problem or to answer why it's not possible. I'll give you a simple example. I can explain this with an example. The answer is no, and it's one possible way to understand is that we know the true value. So even if we cannot calculate, we know the true joint distribution. But what we can do here is we may change the joint distribution numbers, these numbers, the four numbers here, without affecting these marginal distributions. For example, here it is. This is a manipulated numbers, but I have the same marginal probability distribution. So these numbers are the same. These numbers are the same. So when you have these two marginal distributions, they are compatible with this table or this table, compatible with both. So that means you cannot tell whether truth is this or this, only from these numbers. So you cannot distinguish what is right and what is wrong, what is fake, only by comparing the marginal distributions. So this is an example of why we cannot calculate the joint probability distribution, even if you know all the marginal distributions. Marginal distributions do not have some important information that the joint probability distribution has. Or alternatively, it may help too. Now let's think about this question more algebraically or mathematically. So what our problem can be formulated in this way. We would like to calculate the joint probability distribution. That is, we need to know four probabilities: X, Y, Z, W. We need four probabilities, and they are unknowns. If we can solve the problem for these four unknowns, then you can calculate the joint probability distribution. But the information we have is only these two equations. We know that the probability of uncovered is 33.69%. Or we know that the probability of female equals to 50.52%. Of course, it is equivalent to the male probability or covered probability. So these are the information we have. And in this case, we cannot solve these problems for these four variables. They are not enough. Then what can we do? Now we have these numbers. So we have these numbers. Then the same two informations about the marginal distribution, and I additionally give you information about something. So now you have three informations. Think about this. Why? Then now you have one additional information. Now I ask you another question. In this case, can you calculate the probability of women without health insurance coverage? It is yes or no. So it's also tricky. Now think about this, and as I said, if you think you can calculate, then try that, do the algebra, and think about the probability, to calculate the probability. And if you think no, then also think about why. Try to explain the reason in your words. I will answer this question in the next video. Try. See you soon.